You know what to do, so why aren't you doing it? You've got the plan, you've got the Pinterest board, you even bought the fancy pens and color coordinated your calendar. So why aren't you doing it? Maybe it's the business idea that's been almost ready for 6 months, the fitness routine you've planned perfectly but keep starting next Monday, the book you're going to write, the course you're going to launch, the boundary you're going to set, the conversation you're going to have. I'm not judging. I'm asking a question every ambitious woman has quietly whispered to herself in frustration at 2 a.m. I know exactly what to do, so why can't I make myself do it? The answer might surprise you. It's not about willpower. It's not about laziness. It's not even about time or having the right strategy. It's about who you believe you are versus who you are trying to become. Let's talk about what's really holding us back today and how to finally break through. Okay, let me dive in with a little personal confession time. I want to tell you about a time when I had everything mapped out perfectly. I had this vision for a new program. I blocked off time in my calendar. This is probably 10 years ago. I bought the domain name. I set up the platform. I briefed my team. Everything looked great. I even told people about it, which, hello, that means I'm serious. And then I reorganized my spice cabinet twice. I convinced myself I needed one more week to prepare. I cleaned out the back of that junk drawer that we all pretend doesn't exist. I found stuff from when the boys were in elementary school. I organized my digital photos. I researched competitors for hours under the guise of market research. I was doing everything except the thing I said I was going to do. And the whole time there was this voice in my head going, "What is wrong with you? You know what to do, just do it." But here's what I finally realized after weeks of sophisticated, expert procrastination. I didn't have a strategy problem. I had an identity problem. Same reason I talk to you about identity all the time. So much of our issues comes down to this. Deep down, I was terrified that starting meant becoming. And part of me wasn't sure I was ready to be the woman who could pull this off. I was trying to act like the next version of myself before I'd given myself permission to actually be her. Does that sound familiar? Here's the truth that productivity experts won't tell you. Most of us aren't stuck because we don't know what to do. We're stuck because our internal world hasn't caught up with our external ambition. It's not a planning problem. It's not a motivation problem. It's not even a time management problem. It's an identity problem. Think about it. You've been trying to force action before you've made space for a new identity to even emerge. And that creates massive emotional resistance. It's like trying to install new software before upgrading your operating system. The system cannot handle it. You can white knuckle your way through for a little while, maybe even a couple of weeks or months. But if your identity doesn't support the action that you're trying to take, eventually you will self-sabotage. You will sabotage your own progress. Your subconscious mind will find creative ways to keep you safe in the identity that you've always known, even if that identity is too small for where you're trying to go. Does that resonate? Because if it does, I want you to know you're not broken and you're not lazy, you're just human. We all have done it. This is called the identity gap, because this is where most brilliant, capable women quietly stall out. It's the missing piece in almost every conversation about achievement. The identity gap is the emotional space between who you've always believed yourself to be and who you're trying to become. Here's what that sounds like in real life. I want to be the COO of this organization, but I still think of myself as just a mom who had a good idea and got lucky climbing the ranks. I want to lead a team and scale my business, but deep down, I don't see myself as a real businesswoman. You see where I'm going with this? I want to get healthy and stick to my goals, but I keep calling myself the inconsistent one every single time I mess up. I want to write that book, but who am I to think that people would want to read what I have to say? You see, when your subconscious identity doesn't match your new desired behavior, your brain literally will sound the alarm and say, "This isn't safe. This isn't who we are. Abort mission." And so it resists. Not because you're unmotivated, not because you don't want it badly enough, but because you're trying to act outside your current identity and it feels like a threat to your emotional stability. You've been trying to behave like a new woman without becoming her first. And that creates internal conflict that no amount of planning or willpower can overcome. So I want to give you some specific examples of identity gaps that I see all the time because I help my clients overcome them. There is the I'm not ready gap. You want to launch something or you want to build in your career and you keep thinking to yourself, I need more credentials. I need more expertise. I need more preparation. Your actions keep getting delayed because your identity says, I am not the kind of woman who goes before I'm 100% ready. There's also the I don't deserve this gap. You want success. You want recognition in your role. You want financial freedom. But part of you feels guilty or unworthy. Your identity whispers, who am I to want this? Other people deserve it so much more than me. And then there is, I'm not that type of woman gap. You want to be bold, take risks, put yourself out there, but your identity says, I'm the quiet one. I'm the behind the scenes person. I don't rock the boat. And then the final one is the I always mess up gap. You want to be consistent. You want to follow through, but your identity is built around being the scattered one or the one who starts things but doesn't finish. Are any of these hitting home? If they are, you were supposed to be here today. Because here's what I want you to know. These aren't character flaws. They're just outdated identity stories that need updating. But here's the good news. And this changed me in the best possible way. You don't have to work harder to transform, to be changed. You're not meant to force a new identity through sheer determination. You're meant to partner with God in becoming this new version of yourself. Romans 12:2 says, be transformed by the renewing of your mind, not the renewing of your schedule, not the perfect morning routine, not the right accountability partner. Transformation begins with belief about who God says you are and who He's calling you to become. When you align your identity with God's vision for you, your behavior starts to follow naturally, not perfectly, but progressively. You stop trying to force yourself to act like someone you don't believe that you are. Instead, you start becoming the woman He designed you to be, and the actions flow naturally from that new identity. This is grace-based growth, not grind-based growth, and it changes everything. So let's agree today we're going to stop trying to brute force our way forward and start working with how transformation actually happens. Sound good? I'm going to give you 3 simple steps, but these are very powerful shifts that move you from knowing what to do to actually doing it. Shift number 1, focus on becoming, not performing. Instead of obsessing over outcomes and results, ask yourself, who am I becoming in this process? Let the goal be to grow you. This takes the pressure off of perfect performance and puts it back on purpose and growth. When you focus on becoming instead of performing, failure becomes data instead of defeat. A missed workout becomes information about what you need to adjust, not evidence that you're hopeless, because hello, you are not. Shift number 2, shrink the step until it feels safe. Your brain will always resist massive action when your identity feels threatened. So shrink the step until your nervous system says yes. Don't try to overhaul your entire life overnight. Instead, do one tiny thing that builds identity traction. Small steps equal nervous system safety equals sustainable momentum. I'm going to say it again. Small steps leads to nervous system safety, leads to sustainable momentum. If you want to be a writer, don't commit to writing a novel. Write one sentence. If you want to be a speaker, don't book a keynote yet. Record a 30-second video. Want to be consistent with workouts? Don't plan 6 days a week. Just put your workout clothes. Try it for 10 minutes. The goal isn't the action itself. It's proving to yourself that you're becoming the kind of person who takes action. Shift number 3, speak from your future identity. I want you to change the way you talk about yourself because your words literally shape your neural pathways. Instead of, I'm so bad at following through, say, I'm becoming a woman who keeps her word to herself. Instead of, I'm not a business person, say, I'm a bold leader in training. Instead of, I always mess things up, say, I show up imperfectly and I keep learning. Language matters. Your identity is partly formed by the story that you tell yourself about yourself, so start telling a better story. Let's talk about action steps. I always want to give you action steps, so let's land this with 3 specific moves that you can make today. Number 1, I want you to write your identity statement. Complete this sentence. You know the sentence by now. I'm becoming a woman who, maybe it's I'm becoming a woman who follows through on her commitments, or I'm becoming a woman who takes bold action before she feels ready. Yes, and amen to that. I want you to write it down. Say it out loud every morning this week. Let your brain start getting familiar with this new version of you. It's going to feel a little off at first, and that's okay. This is a new version that we're building. Step number 2, I want you to take 1 2-minute identity action. Pick one tiny action that the future version of you would take. Send the email, open the document, lay out your workout clothes, make that phone call. The goal isn't to change your life in 2 minutes. It's to prove to yourself that you're becoming someone who takes action. Step number 3, last step. Catch and correct your language. All week, I want you to pay attention to how you talk about yourself. When you catch yourself saying, I always, or I never, or I'm just not that type of person, I want you to pause and reframe it. I'm learning to fill in the blank. I'm becoming a woman who fill in the blank. I'm practicing fill in the blank. You get it? Small shifts in language create big shifts in identity over time. Now, if you're nodding along and thinking, okay, I'm ready to close the identity gap, but I want a space where I can actually do the work with support and accountability and structure, Catalyst Mastermind is perfect for you. As you are listening to this, the price will go up very soon. There is a very low founder's price for the year that is still on right now. I want you to catch it before that price goes up. Now, Catalyst Mastermind is absolutely the most transformational program that I've ever built. It is designed specifically for women who are ready to become the next version of themselves, not just think about it. Here's some things that make Catalyst really unique. With Catalyst, you do deep identity and leadership work. We don't just talk about tactics. We do the internal work that makes the tactics stick. Because I'll tell you something, a lot of the tactics are freely available everywhere. We're coming into an age where information, the value of it is going to zero. What really matters is learning how to take that information to get over our internal hurdles so we can be successful. Yes, we're talking tactics, we're talking growth, we're talking strategy, but the most important work we're doing is the internal work that make the tactics stick. You'll get high-level training every month on mindset, business strategy, and emotional resilience. You'll get a community of grounded, faith-filled, growth-minded women who are doing the work alongside you. And you'll get an intentional space to implement, not just consume, because transformation happens through action, not information. So we start soon, and applications are open right now. The way this works, we're taking in a small group of women. You apply, we do a phone call with you. We want to make sure that it's right for you and the perfect fit for the community. If your spirit is whispering, this might be for me, I want you to go to catalystmastermind.org, get all the details, pray about it, and if it's the right next step, I want you to apply. I'll be right there with you every step of the way. And here's what I want you to remember. You don't need more information. You don't need more motivation. You need permission to become her. You need space to grow into the woman who does the thing that you have been wanting to do, whatever it is. It could be work-related. It could be personal. You need grace for the process. You need to trust that becoming is just as important as achieving. I want you to say this with me. I already know what to do, and now I'm doing it. Not perfectly, not quickly, but faithfully. One identity shift at a time. The woman you're becoming is already inside you. She's just waiting for you to give her permission to show up. So let's go. Okay, speaking of let's go with some recommendations. I am decorating a new wall of my office. If you're watching on YouTube, you see the shelves behind me. The other wall has been just blank and boring for years. My husband installed a giant clear whiteboard that I love, but I wanted some decorative items around it. And I bought this banner. You can see this banner. This banner says, "These are the good old days." And I'm going to hang it up. It's one of the pieces that I bought for that wall. But one of the reasons I like having a banner that says something like that, these are the good old days. These are the good old days. Even though they're messy and hard sometimes, I'm going to look back in 25 years and go, man, when I was 49, those were the good old days. And I want to enjoy them. It just reminds me to look around at my life and my work and go, yeah, God is blessing me and he's growing me. And this beautiful, amazing, messy life is such a blessing. So we will link it on Etsy. It is just a beautiful hanging banner. I bought a hunter green background, white letters. These are the good old days. And I love it so much because we really are living in the good old days. Hopefully, I'll live my whole life in the good old days. I remember when all my kids were young going, ooh, I don't think I'm going to enjoy parenting any more than I enjoy right now. Like, this is so amazing. And now my kids are all adults. Well, one is not 18 yet, but basically they're all adults. I mean, the 17-year-old has a beard, for Pete's sake. And I go, wow, it just couldn't get better than this because I love them so much and I'm enjoying them so much. So sometimes they're all the good old days. And what a blessing that is. And it's also a blessing that you're here. Thank you for being here. Thank you for spending this time with me. Thank you for investing in yourself. Thank you for investing in who you're going to be in the future. That investment matters not just for you, but for everyone around you. Because a woman that is partnering with God can do a lot of great work for the kingdom. But a woman who's not healthy emotionally, spiritually, mentally, she can do a lot of damage for the kingdom. Accidentally, with great intentions. And God gave me the mandate years ago that I am to serve women who love Him and help them to live better, help them to live healthier. So thank you for letting me serve you. Thank you for letting me speak life and truth into you every week. I believe in the dreams that God has on your heart, and I know that you're a difference maker. I want you to hear me remind you that you are stronger than you think, and you are braver than you feel, and you are absolutely never alone. Because with God, you have what it takes. You, as a listener of this show, as part of the community, I know about you. I know what's in your DNA. You're a difference maker in this world. So keep stepping up, keep showing up and loving well, because you cannot break a woman who gets her strength from God. I hope you have a great day, and I'll talk to you again soon. Oh, I've leaned away from the microphone. Sorry. Let me do that again. Shrink the step. This is grace-based. Bleh. Messed that one up. Sorry, I have to take a break to scratch my nose.